And now, some quick thoughts from Man.
Welcome to another episode of Quick Thoughts, where I give my initial impressions on some recent series that I either missed or just didn't think needed a whole review on, including web shows. You all probably got better things to do, or maybe not, considering you're on a channel where a black guy talks about cartoons, but I love you for that anyway. But let's not waste any more time and just get right into it. It's literally just Brickleberry. It's not even subtle. They literally copy-pasted Brickleberry onto a cop show. They even got Tom Kenny to come back to play the disgruntled chief. Hell, one of the main characters looked exactly like the other main character from Brickleberry and has the same voice of that character. The whole crew is just a copy and paste of the original crew. The humor is that same dumbass over-the-top schlock that you'd see from people who don't know how to do good shock humor. Like Brickleberry. There's literally a flying, talking ass hallucination in just the second episode. I mean, come on. The only difference is that there's sort of an underlying story, but other than that, this is laziness at its finest. If you're into that stupid over-the-top shock humor, then go ahead and watch. Otherwise, just skip it. Or go watch Brickleberry. It's literally Australian Archer, but with cops instead of spies. Seriously, what the hell is up with all these cop ripoff shows? But anyway, this show is more or less just mediocre. The animation itself feels like imitation Archer. I honestly wonder if it had the working title of I Can't Believe It's Not Archer. I mean, really. Like, everything about this just screams Archer, but in Australia. I find myself just staring at it with no real emotion to it. It has a few laughs here and there, but that mostly depends on if you like the incompetent cop trope. Honestly, you're better off just watching Archer, especially since this hasn't been renewed. So really, you really got nothing to watch with this. It's over, it's gone. Just go watch Archer. I'll admit, at first I hated this when I watched the first episode, but as I continued, I realized it's not bad. It's not that great either, but it can have some funny moments. It prides itself on pure silliness, which I can be okay with, but others might not be. The main characters might get on your nerves because of how obnoxious they are, but for the most part, they're mainly annoying to those that deserve it. Granted, they've had their moments of annoying an old lady who didn't hurt anyone, so there's a little hiccup with them. They're not total jerks and can be pretty nice, so it balances out, though those designs are pretty funky to look at, I won't lie. I can understand if you're a little bit you get annoyed looking at them because they look pretty freaking stupid. You know, I'm surprised Facebook had a hand in this series. I didn't expect them to get into making shows, much less animated shorts. But anyway, this show is very crazy and a weird one. You get some crazy stuff popping up, like a girl character's period coming to life and eating and killing people, and nobody really bats an eye to it afterwards. Like, this thing was just on a bloody rampage, killing people, and the next day, nobody talks about it. There's no news coverage. It's just, well, that happened. People died. Whatever. It's just kind of like, wow, that's just kind of weird. Holy crap. This honestly would fit in with Adult Swim to be real. The jokes work for the most part. It works in a bit of a cynical sense. It feels pretty cheap, but they're only 4-minute segments with an internet budget, so what can you do? As you keep watching, you find yourself wrapped up in the characters and the situations that they go through. Every time I watch an episode, I feel like I gotta watch more. It's like potato chips. You can't just have one. You'll get genuine laughs from it and even nice character moments and development. It has a good sense of progression with the characters. Though one very stupid thing about it is that it censors the hard cursing, which makes no sense, especially since there's a lot of hyper-violence happening in certain episodes. Like, you see people getting chopped into pieces in very gruesome detail. It's just kind of dumb and makes no sense. Otherwise, I honestly recommend it. If you like teen craziness with over-the-top alien madness and sincere moments, this is definitely something up your alley. Okay, this was honestly a very funny Sonic series. When this was originally announced, I was excited for it. I'm an avid Sonic fan, so this had some expectations to live up to. Thankfully, it didn't disappoint. I like the different interpretations of the characters, like having Sonic and Amy mutually having a crush on each other. Too bad the series got canceled before we could see it go anywhere. Friggin' Sega. But it's still funny with a lot of the jokes that reference the fandom and even some of the other Sonic series. Sonic's personality feels like a breath of fresh air. I'll be honest in saying Sonic pretty much is a blank slate character in the games. I'm glad this show put their own spin on him while using certain tropes of his from the games. Tails is kind of same old, same old. They didn't really change him that much, but they didn't need to. He's still pretty fun though. Amy not being so Sonic crazy is something I am very happy for. This to me is the definitive Amy. She's just so crazy and quirky, and I just love the writing team for making her like that. I like how Knuckles is just a colossal boob. He honestly has the best lines in the whole series. Styx being so crazy is very welcomed. I enjoy her character. I just hope she makes a return somehow. Seriously, Sega, you better use her again in some new game or series or something. It'd be stupid to waste her like those other characters you have but don't use. Anyway, I honestly put this series as the second best Sonic series behind SatAM. It sucks it got canceled, but for what we got, it still was a fun ride. I don't know anything about Danger Mouse. It came on back in the 80s, but it wasn't something that was really syndicated in North America like that, so I really can't compare and contrast this series with the old. But on its own, it's okay. It moves at a very fast pace, so you don't get a minute to get to know the characters like that. When you start on the first episode, it just kind of dives right into the crazy situations and stuff, and it's just like, okay, can I get to know who these characters are? You gotta introduce me to them. I'm more or less a new audience, so you definitely want me to get to know who these people are first, you know? But they just chose to just dive right into it, so okay. They seem fine for the most part, but nothing to really write home about. The humor is very fast-paced as well, and it moves too fast for you to even enjoy them, and all of them are more myths, if anything. I mean, I'm okay with fast-paced humor. I think that works to the benefit of comedy because you're just getting jokes out there, but to this point, it's like, okay, I don't know where you were going with this joke. It's moving so fast that I can't really focus on it at all, really. So that's just kind of the gripe with this. It's not bad, but I can't find myself wanting to keep watching it either. Ugh, Disney, what is with you and this lull random kick you've been on? When will you understand that people don't want to see this type of crap from you? You saw how Pickle and Peanut crashed and burned. Why try it again? It literally has random scenes that happen because why not? We're so wacky, you see? I can be a little bit happy that it's not made directly by Disney, but at the same time, it's dumb that they're in association with the studio that's making it. The designs of the characters is pretty annoying since they remind me of breadwinners, at least in terms of design. I can tell they're chickens, but that's because of the little combs on their heads. The brothers and sister have some type of dynamic between them. If there's one thing I can compliment it on is how the sister is sweet, but also the tough one out of all of them. She basically keeps them in line and beats them up if ever they start acting up, and that could be a bit funny here and there, but it's still not enough. Their dynamic is probably the only real saving grace of this show. I can admit it's at least better and a bit more focused than Pickle and Peanut, but it's still pretty stupid. You may find enjoyment out of it, but I'll be real and say this show can go cluck itself. And that's it for this segment. Are there some shows you think deserve some quick thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and be sure to make sweet love that subscribe button. Also tease that little bell so you'll be notified of new videos since YouTube doesn't understand the concept of subscriptions. And follow me on Twitter and Tumblr in the description. Also, consider donating to my Patreon, where for a simple fee you can get early access and make requests on what you want me to review. And join the conversation on Discord, where you can chat with me, share news on all things animation and gaming, and downright entertainment. And always remember, it's just a thought.